Ever since I was this high, I've always been fascinated with the world of video games. Flashback to the early 2000s when the first PlayStation came out. I remember that day that my parents bought me and my brother that amazing console. And I remember my brother opening the box, me breathing heavily, looking at like right by his ear, annoying him, telling him to go faster. And when he did take it out, the first disc he put in was FIFA. And I remember looking at the really bad pixels on the screen that, at that time they were just the most amazing graphics, being completely in awe of what I was looking at, because it was something that was beyond my imagination. Remember, I was just about like 3 or 4 at this time. So it was really, I couldn't think of being able to control a world other than my own, because the world that I lived in myself seemed so uncontrollable at that time. At that time, I wasn't really allowed to play on it, because my parents, they didn't let me play it at that time. They thought it would fry my brain, as usual parents do. But eventually, when I did get to play it, I remember asking my brother, and he let me have a few minutes playing FIFA with him, and I lost by a complete landslide. Despite that feeling, I just did not really care about losing against him. It was more about being able to play that, because the experience of being able to control another character in a world created by someone else, visualized for our entertainment, was just, it gave me a sense of pleasure that nothing else gave me before. I grew up, we got the PS2 and we got the PS3. I kept getting better and better. I was able to beat my brother eventually, and eventually games just became a constant in my life. It affected the way I used to think, because the RPG games that I used to play with the options to have for dialogues, I used to have social anxiety at a time, and it made speaking to other people a lot easier, because in front of my brain, it just those dialogue options used to come, and I used to choose accordingly. I was able to escape into that world and bring things that I learned from there into my own. A game like Minecraft, I've only recently started playing it. After I have started playing it, I realized that I do have a sense of creativity that I never noticed before. That game allowed me to look at parts of myself that I could not see. But most importantly, what I gained from video games was a very good sense of empathy. Being able to put myself in the shoes of another person through their body language, being able to identify how they're feeling. And that only because I was able to be in the shoes of another character in video games, to be able to experience the world through their eyes, to be able to explore a world made from the imagination of another person. Throughout my life, and throughout all of our lives, in fact, as video games have evolved, we've been made to believe that they're what's ruining society, that they are the cause of violence in young adolescents, that they're the reason that we have attention deficit issues, that they're, you know, just the worst thing on the face of this earth. But my experience has just completely been otherwise. Video games have been an inspiration for me. They've been an escape. They've been something to hold on to when nobody was there for me. And that's why I have taken the decision to become a video game developer, much to the disapproval of my own parents, since they don't believe it's a real career. But honestly, if I did not have video games in my life, I don't think that I would have been able to live as good of a life that I have been able to. I would have broken down at moments where it was not called for if I did not have video games, because what I just did, any time that I felt anxious, my breathing got heavy, my mind used to be filled with, you know, complete nonsense. What I used to do, I used to turn on my PS4, and as soon as that blue light came on, a sense of calm always rushed down, and it always told me that everything will be okay. And that's why I want to become a video game developer and spread the joy of video games to the minds of future young people who will need help, who will not be able to speak to another person no matter what the situation is, and to give them an escape that is healthy and is not detrimental to their health. Thank you.